Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be going over the MLB slate on DraftKings and Yahoo for Wednesday, April the 17th. Going to be covering the main slate in this video. There is an early slate today, 4-game early slate, and I did make a video for that. I uploaded it before I uploaded this, so if you want to check out that early slate video, I would really appreciate it. And after this video is uploaded, I'm going to be making my NBA video for the playoff slate, 3-game slate. So if you want to check that video out as well, you can. I would definitely appreciate it. Let's go ahead and just look at pitcher though today. We'll start off at the top, work our way through the pitcher player pool. We'll talk about some of the pitchers I like. Of course, I'll give my 3 hitters that I'm going to be targeting, and then we'll talk about some stacks and BVP plays towards the end of the video. But starting off at pitcher at the top, Cole Hamels is our most expensive option on this slate. He's $9,400, a great matchup against the Marlins. For me, it's hard to not like Cole Hamels today. The matchup's just so good. Pitching is pretty weak on this slate. There's no like stud ace that we have to pay it for. So you can definitely fit in Cole Hamels and still get in some good bats that you want. And this is a great matchup for Hamels. This is a spot where he could just go out and dominate. He looked excellent against the Angels in his last start. 8 innings, only 4 hits, 1 run, 6 strikeouts in that game, 29 DraftKings points. Against the Brewers, he actually pitched pretty decent. He struggled in Texas, but that kind of makes sense in Texas on the road. Tough spot. Now he gets to face this really bad Marlins team that we've just been picking on all series. It started with Yu Darvish, then Quintana on Tuesday had a really good game. Now Cole Hamels, I think, is in a great spot as well. Just a 3.6 implied run total for the Marlins. Just a really bad lineup, a lineup that's just not good versus left-handed pitching. Plenty of strikeouts in this projected lineup as well. Great pitcher's park as well. Marlins Park, one of the more favorable pitcher's parks. So Cole Hamels, a great SP1 option on DraftKings, and on Yahoo at $47, I think he is a great option over here as well. Definitely a guy I'm going to be paying up for. And then when it comes to SP2, I think there's multiple ways that you can go. I don't think there's any clear-cut options. I think Odorizzi against the Blue Jays you could look to. The guy that I really like is Jeremy Hellickson. He's in a really good matchup at home against the Giants, and he's relatively cheap, especially on DraftKings. He's down here at $7,100. On Yahoo, Hellickson is pretty cheap as well. He's 35 compared to like Odorizzi, who's 32. He's a little bit more expensive than Odorizzi, but I still like Hellickson on Yahoo as well, even at 35. The matchup's just so good for him as well, facing a Giants team that we know is just not good offensively. Really struggles when it comes to just putting the ball in play. This is a team will definitely strike out. When they do put the ball in play, it's just a lot of soft contact. They don't have a ton of power in their lineup. Only a 4 implied run total for the Giants here. It's just a lot of where Hellickson can have success, even if he's not racking up a ton of strikeouts. This isn't really a dangerous lineup to where they're going to be hitting, line drives and home runs. This is a team that, even if Hellickson only gets like 2 or 3 strikeouts, he could just get a bunch of ground balls, pop-ups, just a bunch of weak fly balls, just because this lineup's not that good. So, really good spot for Jeremy Hellickson. I like him a lot at $7,100 on DK. And he looked really good in his last start against the Phillies. It was a tough matchup, and he pitched very well against them. And I think he continues to pitch well here against the Giants. Great matchup as well. So I like going to Jeremy Hellickson as an SP2 today at $7,100. And then if we're looking for other potential options, I think there's different ways you could go. Like if you want to take a shot on Wade Miley at $6,600, I wouldn't mind doing that. He could be a guy you look to. Odorizzi I mentioned at $7,700. You could definitely look to against the Blue Jays. If you don't want to go to Cole Hamels, I think Kevin Gausman at $8,600 against the Diamondbacks is a decent pivot. I do expect Cole Hamels to probably be one of the more popular pitchers on this slate. So if Kevin Gausman is going to be a lot lower owned than Hamels, then as a pivot, that makes a ton of sense. But if I'm paying up a pitcher, I expect Gausman and Hamels to be where I look to mostly. And then my SP2s, my cheaper options, Odorizzi, Hellickson I like, and maybe I'll sprinkle in a little bit of Wade Miley. But that's kind of where I'm looking to for pitchers today. Now talking about bats, there's one team that I really like, pretty cheap on DraftKings as well. Starting off at first base, this cheap team has a first baseman I really like, Ji-Man Choi. Tampa Bay is the team I really like today. Ji-Man Choi is $3,700 on DraftKings, and on Yahoo he's at $15 over here. I think he's a really good play on both sides. Tampa Bay's facing David Hess today, one of the worst pitchers in the league. This guy's just not good, struggles to righties and lefties, gives up a ton of home runs, and this Tampa Bay lineup actually has a ton of power in it, especially at the top. Austin Meadows has been a terrific hitter this year versus righties and lefties. Tommy Pham has a lot of power. Ji-Man Choi has power. Diaz has power. Lowe actually has some power. Avisel Garcia has shown the ability to hit home runs this year. Towards the bottom of that lineup, like the 7 through 9, I'll probably be avoiding, but The 1 through 6 I love from Tampa Bay today. We don't have a line on this game, but I imagine their implied run total is probably going to be 5 runs or higher. Just a great spot versus David Hess. And G-Man Choi is a guy that you can target for relatively cheap from that team. Projected about third, only 3,700. A lot of pop versus righties, and now he's facing a righty that gives up a lot of home runs. So I think G-Man Choi is a great play. Austin Meadows, I think at 4,900, is also a really good play. On Yahoo, he's at 21. I like him on Yahoo as well. Meadows, like I said, just been a terrific hitter this year. Has looked incredible as of late. Batting .357 on the year, 6 home runs. 2 of his last 4 games, he's got over 30 DraftKings points. He's got 3 home runs in his last 4 games. Been showing a ton of power. He also has a lot of speed as well, which is definitely important for fantasy. Stolen bases are just as good as like doubles and home runs. Getting guys that can steal gives them even extra upside. Meadows, if he does get on base, will steal bases. So at 4,900, he seems like one of the better outfield plays if you're paying up. Seems like one of the higher upside outfield plays as well. Love Austin Meadows today to go along with my Tampa Bay stack. And then Tommy Pham, like for 300 less, is a great play as well if you want to play Tommy Pham. But I do want to give you guys a value. Cole Calhoun is a value play I really like here. 3,900, projected to lead off versus Lance Lynn. On Yahoo, he's down here at $11, very cheap. Like him on Yahoo a ton as well. I think some of the lefties from the Angels are definitely good plays today. They don't have a ton of good lefties in their lineup. You have Calhoun leading off. You have Justin Bour batting third, who I think is a really good play. You have Brian Goodwin batting sixth, who you could look to. Tommy La Stella, I'll probably be avoiding. But Lance Lynn's a guy that we know he's always been a guy that struggled against lefties. And Calhoun and Bour, even Goodwin, those are 3 guys that I do really like today. Obviously, you can play Mike Trout. If you want to play Simmons, you can, but Calhoun, Bour, Goodwin, Trout, those are the guys that I'm really going to be targeting from the Angels. I definitely want to pick on Lance Lynn. I do want to target the other side of that game as well. Rangers bats versus Matt Harvey. Harvey, I think, was supposed to pitch Tuesday, but Jaime Barria wound up pitching, so Harvey's going to pitch on Wednesday. I do want to target some of these Rangers bats versus Harvey. Chu, Santana, Andrus, Mazzara, Gallo, Cabrera. I think that 1 through 6 from the Rangers is a really good stack as well. Joey Gallo is probably a lock to hit a home run here versus Matt Harvey. So I love Rangers, love some Angels as well, specifically the lefty bats for the Angels versus Lance Lynn. Lynn gives up a lot of hard contact to lefties. Calhoun's a guy that's actually hit righties pretty well and has shown some power this year, leading off at 3,900 in a great hitter's park. I think he makes a ton of sense as a cheap value play, especially if you're like playing cash games today. Calhoun makes a ton of sense. But these are my 5 plays for today, guys. 5 plays for DraftKings and Yahoo. Now we'll quickly go over some stacks that I like, and then we'll talk about BVP plays. So my favorite stack on this main slate is definitely the Rays versus David Hess. I expect they'll be popular, but really hard to avoid for me. The second favorite stack would definitely be Rangers bats versus Matt Harvey. I do like some lefties versus Lance Lynn. But Rays, Rangers, Angels, that's where I'm really looking to for today's stacks. Other teams maybe we could go to, I think some Twins are fine versus Trent Thornton. This game is projected to have a lot of rain, though. Something you want to watch. Could have a chance of getting postponed. Right now it has heavy rain, 49 degrees, 88% precipitation, so make sure you're keeping an eye on the weather for that game. Maybe some Braves bats versus Zach Godley you could go to. 5.1 implied run total for the Braves bats. But those 3 teams I mentioned, those are the teams I'm really looking to stack up on the slate. Those are the teams I expect to be the most heavy on. And now going over to BVP and looking at BVP plays for this night slate, we have 4 BVP plays. So Brandon Crawford has gone 5 for 13 versus Jeremy Hellickson with a home run. Matt Adams, really good BVP versus Jeff Samardzija. It will be interesting to see if they decide to put him in the lineup. He's gone 9 for 17 with 3 home runs versus Jeff Samardzija. Ender Inciarte, 4 for 10 off of Zach Godley. And Zach Kozar, 8 for 45 with 3 home runs off of Lance Lynn. So those are some BVP plays for the main slate. I think that is it for this video, guys. Like I did say at the beginning, if you are planning to play the early slate, 4-game early slate for MLB, I did upload a video on that early slate. I uploaded it about an hour before this goes up, so if you want to check that out, I would really appreciate it. NBA video coming out soon as well, a couple hours after this. So just got a lot of content coming out for you guys today. 3 videos going out. I would appreciate it if you would give those videos a like. Check them out if you are planning to play those slates. But yeah, guys, I think that's it for this main slate. I think that's it for the video. Hopefully you did enjoy, and hopefully this video did help you. If you did enjoy, just make sure you click that like button before you get out of here. Make sure you subscribe if you have not already. And if you do have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. Or like always, you can hit me up on Twitter at the DFS_GO if you do have any questions. But yeah, guys, good luck tonight on this main slate. Appreciate you watching the video. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.